Hello and welcome to another SimpleRockets 2 mobile tutorial. So in this tutorial we're going to visit the moon, or Luna as it's called. So I thought I'd give you a quick demonstration of how I get to the moon. It's not exactly the perfect way, I don't think I'm a professional or anything like that. It's just a quick tutorial of how I do it myself, and hopefully it's helpful to some people. So we've just loaded up my moon lander here. It has a lot of fuel, and I mean a lot of fuel. It's got 10,000 meters per second delta V there. So as you can see, every stage is over one, as I covered in the engine tutorial. So without further ado, let's get into launching and do this thing. So I'll just skip ahead till morning here, so you can actually see what I'm doing. And there we go. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is come into this little icon, and I'm going to lock my heading. And if I show you there, it's locking it exactly at 90 degrees, so I'm going to keep it at that for quite a while. First thing I want to do is open up my flight view as well. I want to click on performance, and I want to click on orbit, and they're the two basic ones I want to see, because I want to keep an eye on the stage delta V, and I also want to keep an eye on the apoapsis. So I'm just going to max throttle here and then start engine number 1. And here we go. Starting our burn. So as you can see there, our stage delta V is still 4,200 meters per second. That'll drain pretty quickly because of just how slow we're going and how fast we're burning fuel. So if you want to look around, it is just touch anywhere else. Do not touch the circle, otherwise you will change the orientation. If you want to avoid that happening, just turn it off with the little eye icon there. We've also got different camera modes. Now this is a new feature. We've got cinematic cameras and so on like that. Now you can see at the bottom our surface speed. It's just gone over 100 meters per second, so that's the opportune time to drag it to around 80 degrees. Around 78-80 degrees. Keep it at that for a while, so it will lock its heading automatically. You just drag the circle around by holding on it. So if you look at the apoapsis there, it's getting to around 7, 8 kilometers, 9, and then when it gets to 10, I'm going to click on the locked vertical velocity prograde, so it just follows that arrow automatically, like so. So our apoapsis is coming up to about 20 now. We're angling at about 45 degrees, I would say. What you want to do is aim for this apoapsis to be at 80 when you're going perfectly horizontal, so 0 degrees. So there you go, the arrow's just following there. Don't separate your fairing yet, because you're not out of the atmosphere till 80 kilometers. So don't separate the fairing until you're out of that atmosphere. But as soon as you're out of it, then you can. Now I'm going to start pitching forward myself, because I'm coming up to that 80 mark. What you want to do is you want to go slightly below 0, just so you don't get any higher on the apoapsis, but you do keep your horizontal velocity going. As you can see there, it's kind of staying the same. It is getting a little bit higher, but that's fine, it's nothing to worry about. Right, what we want to do is go into the map view, and as you can see here, we are slowly getting there. Now when this gets to around, you are 3 minutes away, there we go, I'm just going to cut the engine, because really we don't want to make this any higher of an apoapsis or apogee, whichever you want to call it, and we're going to make a manoeuvre node just by tapping right on that green arrow, and we want to drag it till they're about equal size, so till each side of the manoeuvre node, like so. I'm going to lock that in by pressing that little window icon and then pressing the lock key. Right, so we haven't got much fuel in this stage, so what we're going to do is just get rid of this fairing and then get rid of the stage and start the next engine. Here we go, you can see the stage. We can get rid of that information now, we don't need it. So there we go. Now what we're going to do is we are going to just set that as an auto burn because accuracy is high, and then put warp to the burn. So this is going to take control and make sure that orbit gets circularized on its own without you having to do anything and worry much about it. As you can see by the map screen, we're still on a high accuracy, so it should go perfectly fine. And we have got plenty of fuel left. If we take a look in here, the stage delta V, 2000 meters per second. That is more than enough for what we need it for. So there we go, that's finished that burn, and as you can see, we are now in a total orbit. So if we go back and look at the orbit information, you can see apoapsis 111 and then periapsis 106. So that's fine. Next thing you want to do, you go into Luna or the moon. So you don't have to actually click on it. You can press this little search arrow and then just get rid of that. Click on Luna, then open that little window tab again. Select targeting, which is that little square, and then all you have to do is see where it is, zoom in here, so where it's about on the horizon. When you get there, tap to make a manoeuvre node. It doesn't matter if you're a little bit off, you can adjust when you do it. Zoom out till you can see the circle of Luna's orbit, and then you're just going to pull the prograde marker all the way. And then if it's going a bit too fast for you, you can go down here, map options, and then turn down the sensitivity, so every adjustment you make is just going to be slight. Then what you want to do, add aim for a crash, for crash course into the moon, because it's going to get you closer without having to do another maneuver on the way, sort of thing. So again, we're just going to lock that in, check we've got enough fuel by going back to the main screen, checking there, stage delta V 2000, what's required 1300, auto burn and warp to burn. So we can just once again sit back and relax and let this thing go. So as you can see, we're pretty much burning right towards it. I mean, we did it a little bit late this time. You want to aim for when it's just above the horizon, then you just shoot straight for it. That is the perfect time to aim for Luna. Okay, we can leave that up so we can see how much delta V is left to burn. I wouldn't suggest time warping during an auto burn because it's just going to mess things up probably. So I wouldn't suggest that. So if you haven't already subscribed, then please do and leave a like. Thanks very much, I do appreciate it, and I'm well on my way to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you all very much. I'm absolutely loving the community. So here we go, coming up at the end of the burn. As you can see, it was pretty accurate. We're still on a crash course for the moon. So you can sit here and just watch it get to the moon in about 3 days time, real time. Or you can just simply press this window here and time warp all the way till you intercept the moon. Just going to refocus. If you lose focus on your vessel like that, then all you have to do is press that little tab in the corner there. See, next to the magnifying glass. Right, so we are on a crash course. What I would suggest doing is clicking on Lunar and making sure you're on the daytime. If not, add a manoeuvre as far back as you like. I wouldn't do it really close because that's going to cost you a lot of fuel. Change that sensitivity back up because we don't need it down. And then just pull on this marker. There we go. It's not exactly on a crash course, but I want to make sure I'm on the daytime. So I'm going to keep that, lock it in and burn. As you can see, we're on the night side at the minute. That's not what I want. Right, then we're going to go retrograde and we're going to start time warping around. Okay, we're going to play it, and at this point I would suggest doing a quick save because more than likely you're going to land in a crater, and that's just bad news for everyone. Right, so we're still on a close encounter, we're not on an intercept. But I can see some bright spots here, so I kind of want to just go for them here. Bright spots are good unless it's in a crater where there's this dark spot, that's flat too. But you want to go for the brightest points really. What I'm actually going to do, I am going to aim for that crater over there by simply doing that. Going to aim for this big black spot on the map. So you can see I've just turned the heading indicator. Right, that stage is done, so we're going to drop that and start our landing stage, and we want to cut that fuel right down because we're burning it way too fast. Go back on the map screen so we can see which direction we're burning. And then once we're over that black spot, we've got plenty of fuel to waste here. Once we're over that black spot, we can just go retrograde, pull it in, drop the fuel. There we go. Now coming over really fast and low. This necessarily isn't good because you might hit the terrain, so I would suggest aiming up a little bit and just powering on the engines, just to get that little bit of height to clear any mountains that you're going to come across, and then go back to retrograde. And at this point again I would do another quick save because you don't want to have to do what you've just done over again. Right, so we're just looking for a nice flat spot and then we're just going to max out the engines. As you can see, we're still coming over some rough terrain. Here comes that big black spot that I was aiming for. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the landing legs out. And then I'm going to start firing the engines now. Tone them down a little bit so I don't undershoot. And then I'm going to fire the engines max again. Get this speed right down. right over the dark spot where I want to land so I don't overshoot. And I'd suggest clicking the altitude just so we can see the above ground level rather than the actual sea level. Because then you know how close you are, and we're very close. We're actually a little bit too close. If you're coming in at too steep of an angle, you can always just change the incline and point straight up, and that's going to help you that way. But we should be fine at this pace here. So we're going to burn some more because we want to be going less sideways and more vertical. So there we go. Just keep that thrust up a little bit. Now we're just going to point 90 degrees. And just keep that soft. You want to aim for about 3-4 meters per second for a nice soft landing. Especially with these glitchy legs in this game. Okay, and then just drop the throttle. There we go. We've landed. And that is how you land on Luna. Or the moon. So what you want to do, first thing you want to do is take a screenshot. Because that's what everyone does, isn't it? Right, to get back off again. We've still got fuel in these stages, so it's pointless getting rid of them right this second, because we might as well make use of the fuel that we've got left. So as you can see, we are on the opposite side to Earth, I believe. Now that is Earth there, or Drew. So if we click on that, go on the little window, we can't actually target it, but you can see we're pretty much on the orbit of the moon. So what you want to do, really, there is no atmosphere you have to fight. So what I would do is just open up your heading, point it at about 45 degrees to the west. So Earth should be over there somewhere. And then you just want to max out your weapons like that. Weapons? Why do I keep saying weapons? Max out your engines. Oops, I've turned the heading lock off. So as you can see, we're just building our speed here. You want to just be firing away from Luna. It doesn't really make a difference at this point which direction you're going. I'm just going to keep it in that direction. Still fueling them tanks, so again there's no point draining them. There's no point getting rid of them, sorry. So here we go. You want to zoom out a bit so you can see what's going on with your actual orbit. As you can see, we're heading towards Earth, and you want to just keep this going, keep firing until you get a really, really close orbit around Earth, or very, very elliptical like that, or a collision. A collision will do. And then what you want to do, click this little window and warp to the next change of SOI. And again, like we did with the moon, we want to just click on Drew, sort and see what if we're landing in the daytime or not, and we are not. So we're going to add a maneuver about halfway. and just pull that out. So very close, say about 20 kilometers up. I'm going to lock that in and burn there. There we go, that was a very quick burn. It doesn't really matter. Right, so our periapse. I want to go back to this main screen and check our periapse here. It is 28 kilometers. That should be more than enough. So we're just going to go retrograde and we're going to time warp down to the surface. The game will auto stop the time warp when you get to a certain distance, so just remember that. You don't need to slow it down yourself. The game will do it automatically. Right, so we're coming into the atmosphere. What we want to do, we want to drop these stages. And because we're coming in really fast, we're going to just get rid of the last of the fuel. We might as well while we're doing it. Make sure you get rid of all that fuel just to help you slow you down and reduce the heat. I should have used the fuel in the other stages as well, but never mind. We've saved weight this way. So there we go, slowing right down. Get rid of that, and now, oops. That shouldn't have happened. But there we go, I think we're a bit too low at that point. There we go, our heat shield's out. Now fast forward 2 times speed just to get down and done with the mission. I mean, at this point you can just end it and say that you made it back, but that would be lying. So here we go. I wouldn't recommend getting your parachute at this point because it slows you right down and then takes forever to get to the ground. So I would just really wait until you get really low. It's normal for it to rock a little bit just because of the speed that you're coming down. So about 4,000, 3,000 meters. Let's open the chute. And there we go. Mission successful.